Hi there, welcome to yet another Facemaker video tutorial. This time I'm back with a series of smaller videos dedicated to show you how the different kind of widgets work. So this one will be dedicated to animations, and this is the kind of widget that sometimes causes more trouble because many people don't know how to use it, and they import very big animations, very large animations with lots of frames and using the whole watch screen. Well, one full screen animation might work, and it usually works with the last generation of watches, GT3 for Huawei, or Amazfit GTR3 or GTR4. But for the older models, GT2, GT1, well, GT1 doesn't even support animations, and GT2 does support them, but they have to be small. So yeah, all the last generation watches have animations, allow animations. So let me show you here. Usually you can have them on the background container for Huawei, and Amazfit allows animations anywhere on the watch face. So you could even add animations on the always on display if you wanted. Although it's not recommended, of course, because the always on display should be used to, you know, save battery, or at least save the most battery you can when it's on. So yeah, basically there are several types of animations. GT3 uses frame by frame. So frame by frame is simply a collection of images, just like a movie. You have the image frames, and they all play one after the other with a certain delay, which defines the frames per second, and they're displayed on the screen one after the other. So Facemaker allows you to import several formats. Usually you could import MP4 files or animated PNGs, animated GIF files, or a image set, a collection of PNGs, JPEG, whatever. So yeah, Facemaker allows you to import all those file formats, but you should be careful. First, because we're talking about smartwatches here, not a tablet or something that you could play a movie on, and because yeah, you should be conservative when it comes to animation widgets. So moving on, with Huawei you have three types of animations depending on the watch model. So for example, if we go in here and select the Huawei Watch 3, let's go with the Pro version, and you had a background container, you'll see you have GIF animation and MP4 animation. So basically the MP4 animation is actually an MP4 file that the watch supports and plays. But the MP4 animation doesn't have any alpha or transparency. So for example, if you want to have a animation with transparency, you should go with GIF animation, or in the case of GT2 and 3, you should use frame by frame animations, okay? So let's go back into GT3 so I can show you what you can do, and now you should configure a frame by frame widget. So add a background and frame by frame, there you go. So we could load a animation just by uploading it, an MP4, GIF, whatever, but you can also generate. So this is useful if you want to generate particles animation, and let me show you here. So by pressing generate, you'll see that we're generating an animation made of particles that move randomly on the screen. So this is useful to create several, I don't know, situations where you have, let's say, let me load an image here so I can show you. So for example, this bottle, okay, we have this bottle and we're gonna make it smaller, something like 250. And there we go. So now we'll lock it and we want to make the bubbles going up, okay, here. So let's select the frame by frame widget and make it smaller. So something like 150 width, still too much. So let's zoom in and unlock the aspect ratio and okay, try to make it the same width as the bottle. So yeah, 79, 80 perhaps. Let's go with 80. And now let's pull it up just a little bit, just like that, and now make it taller, but not so much that you can see the particles out of the bottle. Okay, so now this is done, and now when you press generate, Facemaker will use the size of the widget, but you want the bubbles to go from the bottom to the upper part, so to the top, and for that we need first to make the particles smaller. So select 3 or even perhaps 2, but now they need to go from here to here, and for that we can choose the direction. So let's set the top and let's increase the number of particles, let's say 1000. And there we go. Now, Facemaker generated a series of images that now are part of the widget. And the widget is using those generated images to create this animation. If you press play, you'll see that we have exactly what we needed. So now to talk about some of the widget's properties, the animation. So this one, the first field is the loop animation. So if we stop the preview here and press it, the animation will play once and stop. So once it gets to the end of the animation, it will stop. If this is active and you press play, it will play forever. So in a loop without stopping, okay? This is the duration of the animation, so you can't really change it. This is just for displaying purposes, but if you change the frame delay here, so let's increase this to 100. You'll notice that now the animation duration has changed. So this is now 14,001 okay? So you can't really tweak it, it's just for display purposes, but this way you'll know how much the animation will last, how long it will be, okay? So yeah, the frame delay, now this defines how much a single frame, all the time a single frame will be shown, or each frame will be shown. So let me show you here. Let's press play. And you see the bubbles are going up slowly. Let's make this faster. So let's decrease this to 50. There you go. Now each frame is shown for 50 milliseconds, okay? Everything you see here is milliseconds. And if I make this even smaller, so 25, you'll see this is much faster now. So basically, any animation on Facemaker and for animation widgets, any animation widget, These are the more important fields you have to edit, if it will loop or not, and for how long each frame is shown. Okay, so let's reset this to 100 or maybe 50. Yeah, 50. Okay, so this field here is the pause. So between loops, between cycles, which is defined here, you can define a pause. So let's pause it for 500 milliseconds between each cycle. Let's press play. And when it gets to the end of the almost 8 seconds, you will see that it will stop for 500 milliseconds, half a second, and then resume. And then again. There you go. So yeah, this defines a pause between cycles, and I never use it, but yeah, you might find a use case for this. This property here, the on tap, means that when you tap the watch screen, the animation will play. So this can't be really previewed here, but you know what it does now. So the animation will play if you tap the screen. And finally, this one, on minute change. What it means is that the animation will play whenever the minute changes, the minute of the hours, of the time, of the current time. So, for example, it gets to the minute 59 and it goes to 0, the animation will play once, or in a loop, if you define it that way here. Okay, so these are the properties, and this is what you can do. But Facemaker offers you some tools to optimize the animation, make it playable or usable on a watch face. Because as of now, if you look at it, it has 148 frames. So this is not usable on a watch face, and you should never use such large animations. I would say that at most go with 50 max frames in an animation. If you go beyond that, well, you're on your own and you are warned. Okay, so be careful, because Facemaker allows it, and we do not limit the creator, the designer, to some pre-established limits like Huawei does. We allow almost everything, and yeah, you should know that animations can actually make your watch move or act sluggish and feel slow, or it will change the interface and all that. So be careful and try to keep the animations below 50 frames, and if you can, don't use full screen animations. So what we could do in this case, and of course this is a very long animation, I will be adding the tools here so that you can cut it and, you know, make it smaller. But in the meanwhile, you can optimize it, which is what Facemaker does when you optimize an animation. So let's do it. You'll see that you have here 148 frames, and when you optimize, Facemaker will cut them to half. So now you have 74 frames. The problem is Facemaker removed every other frame of the animation. So you lost animation information, and if you do this too many times, the animation will start to look like a slideshow. Let me show you here. So let's press play. It still looks smooth because it's relatively fast. The frame delay is at 100. Let's say I put it at 200 and press play. So now you see what's happening, okay? So every other frame was removed, and now it doesn't look as smooth as before. But I think we could still cut it more. So if I put 50 here and press play, it's playing too fast. Okay, so now let's optimize. And now we're at 37 frames, and this is perfectly usable for a watch face already. Okay, so now if we press play, it's playing too fast because now there's less frames. They are displayed at 100, and if you press play, you'll see that now it looks like almost like a slideshow. Okay, if we increase this value to, let's say, 200, you'll see what I'm talking about. So while before we had the frames were interpolated, we had more information between each frame. Now there's no such information, so it looks like a slideshow. Well, this may not be important to the watch face as long as you have those bubbles going up there. So it will be all about you and what you want with your watch face. So yeah, just know that you have these options and that's it. So you also have this option here that's make seamless. So you'll see that when it gets to the end of the animation, it almost like jumps. Well, you can see it because it looks like a slideshow. So basically, it looks like it's jumping every time. So, but what Make Seamless does, and it wouldn't work for this animation in particular because it's moving up, it will duplicate the frames, invert the duplicated frames, and add them to the end of the animation, making the animation seamless. So, if we... oh, darn. I made it twice. It doesn't matter. So what it did was duplicate the frames, put it on the end, inverting them, so it's almost like a ping pong effect. So the ball goes up into the wall and comes back. Okay, so this is what it does. You might have a use case for this, and the option is there, so use it if you want to. And now, I think this is all you know, explain how this widget works, but I would like to show you an experience here. So let's use this bottle image and let's rotate it. So there we go. We can make this, no, let's use the 250 and apply. Now the image, the bottle is laid down, and now we'll add a frame by frame. And here we're gonna load a ship. An animation of a ship, okay? So if you press play, you see what we have here, okay? Now what we want to do is put this ship inside the bottle, okay? And I'll show you how to do that, and that's what the Facemaker tools are for. So yeah, let's go and do it. So let's zoom in. And first we need to resize this animation. So let's make it 200 for now and put it here. And I want the ship to fit inside, vertically I mean, but also that the water will feel like it's filling this bottom part of the bottle. So let's increase the size. Just like this, and then just like that. Okay, this is not perfect, but yeah, I think it will work. Maybe a little bit more to the right, just like that, and yeah. Okay, so if you now play, you'll see what is happening, okay? And maybe a little bit upward, I don't know, maybe, yeah. Yeah, this will work. Okay, so yeah, this is what we're going to do. Put this ship inside the bottle. And for that, first, we need to apply some effects. So let's hide the bottle and add an effect here. and this will be the color to alpha. So what we're going to do is replace a color with transparency. We want to remove the sky here, okay? So let's select the sky color, just like that. And now increase the threshold. And immediately you'll see that Facemaker removed the sky, but we still have the clouds. So let's increase the threshold just a little bit more until we have no clouds left. And there we go. Let's press play. And I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm just showing you how this could be done. Okay, so let's go with this value. Maybe 30, no, it's 33. Yeah, maybe 32 or even 31. Okay, 30 should work. Okay, so now let's stop the preview and apply all. So this is applied now, and if you go into the image properties, you will see that there's no sky now and no clouds. And this will fit our purpose, because right now if we show the bottle, you'll see that the sky is no longer there. So all we need to do now is crop the water and make it look like this is inside the bottle. So let's hide the bottle, or rather let's keep it on but hide the ship. And here we need to zoom in. We will oh no, let's show the ship. We need to see this, so let's do it this way. Okay, yeah, I think this is perfect, like this. Okay, so let's add an image, put it on top, and then select draw vector. And here I am going to draw a simple vector. It doesn't have to be perfect. I am trying to get that the shape of the bottle, just like that. Now zoom out and then just select the rest just like that and merge it. Okay, so now we have this vector. And sorry, if you want to delete points, just press Alt and click the control point. Okay, so now, and I keep adding points, what's wrong with me? Okay, we had one extra here. Okay, so let's edit this, make a prettier version of this line, just like that. And now we can fill it. Okay, so press fill and done. So now what we need to do is to remove this part here, this blue part on the video. And what we'll do is we'll use this shape we created to remove this part. The problem is the shape is on the opposite area, on the area we want to keep. So for that, all we have to do is on this shape we created, we go into Effects and we select Invert Alpha, or yeah, Invert Alpha. And what it did was it inverted the alpha channel of the pixels of the image. So basically what was opaque became transparent, and what is transparent became opaque. Okay, so right now we can simply put this over the animation right here and select merge down and subtract, and voila. What it did was remove all those pixels we didn't need that were outside the bottle. And now if we press play, we have the ship inside the bottle. So you can use images and merge them with animations. You can add images to animations, remove images from animations, and to get these kind of results. Okay, so yeah, this is all I wanted to show you, and this is how animation widgets work with a little extra with this ship and a bottle thing. I hope you liked it, and I'll be doing more videos like this, small videos showing how each widget works. The next one will be the circle widget, which many people have problems with. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!